Okay guys, this is going to be a kind of different video than usual because I'm going to be talking about mouse and keyboard stuff. I'm actually playing with the free key accidentally right now, and I'm going to be doing this live, so I might be terrible, so hopefully I'm not terrible, because that'd be embarrassing. So yeah, I wanted to make a video about the mouse and keyboard slash Cronus Max situation in Battlefield right now. Obviously mainly competitively, because pub players don't use fucking mouse and keyboards. So yeah, I don't know where to start really. I might as well outline why this is an issue. Mouse and keyboards are obviously an advantage over other players, right? So personally I use the Scuff Impact controller. I got it because I used to play Call of Duty and it was useful for jetpack games. But now it's super useful for essentially sliding like I am now. You slide with your back paddle. That's why they're sort of special controllers, I guess, because they've got paddles on the back. You can keep your thumb on the aim stick and still do stuff like this. Obviously you can jump and slide, but it's not much of an advantage. It's still a controller. I've still got to aim with my thumb like this. You can sort of see it goes in circular motions. Like I can't sort of snap like you can with a mouse and keyboard. So it's better than a normal controller would be for the PS4, but it's not as useful or just, well, OP cheating as a mouse and keyboard would be. More subtle players would use a Cronus Max, where you can essentially plug in a modding device which takes away your recoil on your controller, so you can sort of mask the fact that you've got a cheating aiming device that reduces recoil and, you know, allows you to shoot straight all the time. Fuck me. I guess then the extension to this point would be that there is a lot of issues as to why this has sort of stayed the same, like this, why nothing's changed for a while. One of the aspects is financially it makes sense for Sony. Obviously they own PS4, and they and Microsoft for Xbox are kind of thinking, well, we know some people use mouse and keyboards now on consoles. I think you buy like a Zim something where you essentially plug that into your PS4 and then attach that to a keyboard, and that's how you use it alongside it. But essentially, yeah, financially, it makes sense for the developer to allow these things to sort of happen, because people will, you know, it's a small player base, but the competitive side of Battlefield will basically use any means possible to get better than their opponent and to win the small amount of money that we could be given or could earn. So it makes sense for them essentially. They can actually create their own versions of this of a keyboard or a mouse, or, you know, sponsored things that are actually specifically for a console that they sort of half allow. Like, you know, I guess in the past people used to buy consoles for the fact that you know you sort of knew everyone was on the same playing field. You knew everyone would have a controller. You knew everyone would be on the same footing in that sense, so you know you could kind of play accordingly, knowing you had a fair chance of beating the same sort of person. That sort of slowly deteriorated over the years, you know, with things like the Scuff like I've got, and I think there's like a Rajin controller or something along those lines, where it's, you know, a kind of different, superior controller to the original. Those sort of things have slowly degraded to the point where when it actually matters, when you actually want to win, for numerous reasons, either money or just bragging rights, which is mainly the case in Battlefield's competitive scene. You know, some guys just want to win, which I don't hold against them, but obviously using an advantage over your opponent like that is not preferable, and it's not fair, obviously, because you never know going into a match who's using what, which is a massive issue. And I'm going to go on to say why that's always going to be the case until Battlefield's competitive scene gets bigger. Might as well say it now, really. The main reason is we don't have a big enough scene to have like local area network events, LAN events. where, you know, you're on the same, you're monitored, you're regulated, you can only use certain stuff. You've got admins to make sure everyone's not cheating. That kind of thing, where you pay for money in the same event arena. We don't have that. We don't have a big enough support base for that. So we can't have those events. So naturally, people can basically play all the tournaments in the comfort of their own home. They can use anything they want. No one will check, and as I said earlier, Sony won't check. Or if even if they either don't know or they do know and they don't care. Because they might capitalise on this later on. They might make their own mouse and keyboard stuff, like I said. So that's why they don't care. They couldn't care less if it affects Battlefield, you know, the integrity of competitive, or if it makes it fair. They don't really give a shit. It's all about money for them. So they're thinking, right, we know the hardcore competitive guys buy mouse and keyboards to use in games, and you know, we can make a buck off this essentially. So those are the two main reasons. I fear that won't get any better in Battlefield 5, because I don't think it's different enough of a game to justify a massive surge in either just players in general or a competitive side of things. I don't think it's going to be that like overwhelmingly popular compared to Battlefield 1. It might get slightly more popular, but it might have the same issues Battlefield's always had. Even with Premium now being gone, it might just be a case of, you know, everyone buys it at launch, you know, it takes a while, and slowly people start not playing it because, I don't know. Also, the model of the Battlefield 5 is weird because of the fact that they're releasing sort of battles in chronological order, so the big battles of World War II that you might sort of think of, like, you know, D-Day, Battle of the Bulge, the Italian front, sort of happened in the late, and obviously the siege on Berlin, sort of happened in the late 1940s, 44, sorry, mid-1940s, 44, 45. So you essentially miss out on some of the best battles in World War II at the start of the game, so people might sort of be like, well, I'll come back later when we've got the good stuff, but I might go now. Stalingrad is probably the only good battle that happened, well, at least for the Allied side of things, eventually in 1941, so for me. So people might be waiting anyway, so the issue is that we might have to be waiting for another Battlefield title until we... Fuck me. Until we get a good surge in popularity again. And people might actually start thinking, right, we can, you know, the developers might thinking, right, we can host a tournament and we can have a LAN event. And that will mean the players will start thinking, right, I need to stop using my mouse and keyboard now. I need to stop using my Cronus Max, because when I get to the event, the actual LAN event, I can't use them. I can't use those things. And that's the only thing that will change. People stop using them. Like, we know who uses them as a competitive player. You know who uses different stuff. It's pretty obvious. Either through YouTube or just what they can pull off. Sometimes you just know that, you know, high sensitivity tends to suggest mouse and keyboard. No recoil tends to suggest Cronus Max. That kind of thing. Fuck me. You know, you can sort of get the gist of it pretty quickly. So we know who's using these things, but you can't really say anything. It's a taboo subject in competitive. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's not a conversation that like the majority of the good players want to have. You know, it's not nice to be told that you're only good because of your mouse and keyboard, but sometimes that's the case, and it's frustrating playing some teams because you just know that you're at a disadvantage. So yeah, I'm probably going to play to the end of this round to make it nicely well rounded, but I haven't really got much more to say right now that I can think of off the top of my head. I'll probably make a second video because I can tell this might get some people riled up. I don't think I've said anything too controversial. Maybe saying it's cheating is controversial in the sense that it's not actually specifically prevented. It's not allowed in leagues and stuff, but it's not prevented from being the case, and we all know that people use them, teams use them. I'm not naming names, I'm not naming teams, but we know who uses them. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed my monologue. of ranting about how unfair it is, how life is always unfair, but I thought I'd share my thoughts on it and see if I can get any discussion going. See if anything can change for the better. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.